All right, all right, all right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the live stream. And I am Mr. Poseidon. How's everybody doing? Let's say hello to my lovely wife.
Hi, everybody.
Well, that's how I always put on the wrong one for you. How you doing, honey?
Awesome. What's going on?
It's a beautiful thing. We're having a good time. About an hour ago, we weren't smiling like this an hour ago, were we? Yeah, you guys should have been around for that one. Anyway, let me lower this a little bit. There we go. All right, so welcome everybody to the show. I'd like to see the screen with the writing.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. It's a beautiful thing. All right, so
Definitely
let's start
need to
off by
put your
saying
eyes
hello
on
to
it.
everybody here. Jason Palmatier, welcome back, buddy. Nice to see you to the show. Mario Gandini, good evening, buddy. Nice to see you. We got Melvin Madrid. Hey, Melvin, how you doing, buddy? What's up, buddy? Caught a nice fish this week, my friend. Ebeth, how are you, darling? And your husband, Stephen Hastings. What's up, guys? How are you? We also got Frank Salamone. Frank Salamone, what's up, buddy? How you doing, Frank? I missed you down in Montauk this week. Wait. That went really quick. I lost everything there. My wife switched it up on me. Oscar El Baera. How you doing, buddy? Welcome back, man. Oscar's here. I think he hasn't missed a show, Oscar. Anyway, Steven is watching too, she says. Very nice. Glad to hear that, guys. I'm glad you came to the show tonight. So, tonight on the show, well, first off, I want to start off by saying that I was in Montauk this week, and if you guys saw the Instagram posts, I did pretty good this week in Montauk. I actually did about at least 24 surf rats, meaning schoolies, anywhere between 24 to 26 inches. These fish were feisty in the water, oxygenated, high tides, storms out in the ocean. It was great. It was fantastic. Two of the fish I got were slot fish. One was a 34-inch, 12-pound, and the other was a 30-inch, 8-pound. All the fish were released safely. Always on the video, you'll see me doing that. Wonderful time, great times. I used both my my Llama Glass GSB, which is a 10-footer, moderate action. I think it's a 2 to 5 ounce, and I had about 40-pound braided line on there, 80-pound leader, and the lures I was using were basically bucktails, straight out bucktails with a red pork rind that I like slicing right down the middle. I feel I get a better wiggle out of that, right, honey? You like that wiggle part, honey? Yeah, boy. Anyway, so so I did pretty good. I had a good time. Lots of walking to find the fish. Lots of walking. I'm going to say it again. Lots of exercise. It was tough find, but when you found them, you found them. And I got to say that the fall season is on, and it isn't because Mr. Poseidon is saying it, it's because of the way it is. I was fishing in there in August, and I wasn't doing what I'm doing now. And I'm not talking about catching slot fish or over slot fish. I'm talking about just strictly catching striped bass. Yeah, we were all catching bluefish and whatever out there was out there. Sharks, stingrays, whatever. But the striped bass were not around. Obviously, in the summers, we call it the doldrums of summer, and you fish striped bass exclusively at night if you want a shot at that type of a fish. But as the fall season approaches, the daytime can land you a striper, which was good times for me. I love daytime. Daytime makes good videos for you guys to see, and it was just lots of fun. It's a little bit more safer at night.
Yeah.
When I do go out, my wife is always calling me every hour. And the last time I was literally on a rock in the ocean. All right, let me not make it seem like I was out in the ocean, maybe about 5 feet from shore, but I was on the rock, and she called me, and I was like, listen, I'm fishing. She goes, I need the code to get into so on. It's on your phone. And I'm like, listen, I'm on a rock. She's laughing because that's what happened. But anyway, today we have on our guest, and also, we got some more new people on. Chris Gannon. Chris Gannon, my brother.
Hey,
Chris, we have to get together very soon, Chris, and I'm being realistic. I know you got kids, everything. Me and Mrs. P, I should say, would love to take the ride up to Albany and visit you guys for sure. Also, Vinny the Sniper. Vinny Sniper. How you doing, Vinny? John Garcia. John, I want to get a hold of you. We sent out, did you send out the lures?
Yes.
Yeah, they went out to Patty. She'll be sending it over to you because we were trying to get your address. But thanks, John, for coming to the show. Also, PC Rods, Delaware. Good evening, sir. We want to move to Delaware. We want to
PC Rods,
retire
Delaware,
in
huh?
Delaware. We're going to be best friends one day.
We'll see.
Be like moving my fishing rods. I'll be like, I don't use GSB anymore. I use PC Rods from Delaware.
PC.
Hey, how you doing? So tonight we have a guest on who was actually my very first guest ever that I had on here. Was a double that night. It was, you guys know him, Lore Walker, and also Mike's from Mike's Tough Leaders. And we realized after that first show, it wasn't enough time to have two people on since we only do an hour show. And tonight we're going to have Mike's from Mike Tough Leaders on. We'll be talking to him a little bit. He did the run through the tunnel this morning, which my building is right by there. I got out early this morning. I wasn't able to see him go by.
Your building or the building where you work?
Well, the building where I work, but I like to call it my main
Yeah,
building,
right.
you know? It's okay. Just don't let my boss hear that. Anyway, we'll be talking to him about that. Also, what else do we got? We got some nice pictures. The guy fishes Montauk a lot, and he is very, very safe as far as his pictures and not giving up spots, and it should be like that because you know how it is. You give up your spot, and the next day there's 100 guys there, and the guy who gave you that spot is coming down with brass knuckles. He's coming down with the brass knuckles. You can't do that. You can't give away spots. So, yeah, he also turned me on to the fact that you got to be very careful. And me videoing, it's tough sometimes. I sit there and I have to look at the videos not to give away landmarks and so on. Now, if it's a public beach and everybody's there, I'm really not so weary on that because it is public. But some of the safer grounds that are not public really, and I have a friend who takes me, and Mike, I know he's got friends out in Montauk that live out there. Call them townies, whatever you want to call. You don't want to give up their spots. You want to remain friends with these people for the rest of your life and do the right thing. And remember, guys, I am Mr. Poseidon. I'm all about my channel, surf fishing videos, mainly striped bass. We talk about products I like, live stream every Sunday. And also, final thing before we introduce Mike, Mr. Poseidon has his 3-day Montauk Striper Challenge. That's coming up in October 19th through the 22nd. Now, it's a Tuesday through Friday. I promise from now on, every year, I'll do it on the weekend. But I did it for the weekday. Prices are a little cheaper in Montauk. And if you want to stay at a hotel or whatever, they're cheaper around that type. I'm going to be staying at the Montauk Manor, about $125 after everything is said and done tonight. Come for one night, come for 2 nights, come for all 3. But I will let you know that Thursday night, we're going to be announcing the winners. It's $25 a man entered, and whatever the total comes out to, I will be doubling that. And Mr. Poseidon is not in that competition. So that winner will be announced Thursday night where I'm staying. I have a huge, huge room. We're going to have food and beverages. It's going to be a wonderful time. We all get to meet each other. We're all surf fishermen. We are the bulls of the ocean. Never forget that. We tough it out. People don't realize just how tough it is. It's not just the beach. If you're going for the stripers and you're going to do it right, yeah, you'll fish for them on the beaches. But if you want to go for that big prize fish, you got to go to where the rocks are. These are rockfish. That's what they were called originally, rockfish, because that's where they hunt. They sit by there. They wait. A big wave comes, hits the rock, pushes all the little bait out, and what's waiting there? Me, Mr. Poseidon. I'm hungry. No, it's the striper that's waiting there. But anyhow, let's now introduce our first guest. Mike. And here's Mike. Mike from Mike's Tough Leaders. Mike, how you doing, buddy?
Guys? How are you? Good. How are you?
Great, buddy. As you know, you were listening on. You were hearing about the striped bass and so on. But what I want to talk about is this morning first. The first thing, how was your run through the tunnel, Mike? And how did you get into that? And why did you decide to do it?
It was good. We ran the Tunnel of the Towers this morning. I actually had a pretty good time. It was my personal best so far running it. My girlfriend and I love doing it every year, just to kind of remember 9/11, and it's always a great donation if you buy a T-shirt, buy a sweatshirt, just sign up for the run. All the money goes to actual families who are impacted in some way, shape, or form from either serving in the armed forces or any effects from 9/11, from clearing rubble or people who lost family members. It's a great foundation, and they actually really care about the people they look out to take care of. So
Right. I just want to explain one thing. I know there's some younger chats out here, and I don't know if they know what the Run for the Tunnel is. Can you explain to them what that was about and how did this become about?
So initially, on September 11th, there's a picture of a firefighter running through the tunnel, the Battery Tunnel, and he ran all the way to the World Trade Center, and unfortunately lost his life trying to save lives that day. And since that day, people realized what he did. They kind of saw the pictures, they put two and two together, and they realized that he ran all the way there, ran all the way up, and tried to save lives. And unfortunately, the towers went down. And to remember him, they had the whole Tunnel to Tower run. So you run from the start of the Battery Tunnel all the way to now the World Trade Center, and it's a 5K run, and it's really something to be a part of. Even if you don't run, it's a run walk, so you can walk with the crowd. It's a big, like, if I were to say feeling like patriotism, feeling patriotic, it would be running that run. It's
Wow.
It's a very different feeling. It's very worth it.
Yeah, I also want to say that when I left this morning, my building's right down there, and when I left this morning, the amount of people, and again, I'm saying this because he said the patriotism that you feel. There was so many people downtown, firemen, a lot of policemen I saw. So patriotic, everybody. Everybody was so happy that day because it's a good thing you're doing. And you will always feel good no matter what you do. When you do something good, you'll always feel good. And this is an extra special thing. I'm glad, Mike, that you do that. I'm glad that you involve your girlfriend, who I know has got to be watching right now.
Yeah, she's
Oh, yeah. How you
she's
doing?
right now.
So you can say hello to her?
Yes.
There you go, buddy. Go ahead.
Hey, babe, how's it going?
There you go.
You're in the next room.
Yeah, I saved you tonight, buddy. Let me tell you. So anyway, let's continue on that. Let's talk about a little bit about your fishing and I want to show the pictures. I want to show them next. Let's talk about conservation because like I mentioned earlier, Mike had come up to me or spoke to me on the phone and said, listen, I think that the pictures, you got to be careful. And you know what? Like I told him, I'm glad he told me because he's a gentleman. He knows how to speak to people correctly, and it's fine. I know he doesn't know me great, but I accept criticism all the time. Always remember that, guys. So he explained to me that I think you're showing too much of where these landmarks are. So I looked at the video, and I did see some where I thought, yeah, you know what? He's right. Because a local out there that lives in Montauk knows every nook and cranny. So when he sees these things, he might know where it is. And I don't want to give up information that people have brought me there too. So, Mike, I want you to tell me a little bit about that, about going out with your buddies and, just to be, conservative as far as, sharing spots. I mean, I don't want to make you seem like a big guy because you're not. You're doing the right thing in a way. So tell me about it a little.
No, I understand exactly what you mean. And when I talked to you, there was no
None.
bad intentions whatsoever. It was only just because I know, it's
and you were right.
Social media is a very important thing to you, and what's also very important, which creates your basis for your channel, is making sure you have these spots, you have these moments, you have these private moments that you've captured, so you can portray it on your YouTube channel and really get things going. And a big thing about that is as of last year, I know you've been fishing for a long time. So
Yes.
But as of last year, a lot of fishermen just recently got into surf casting because they realized it's very accessible from shore. With COVID, nobody could really get on boats. They could, you could only get out in certain ways. And a big thing was social media really exploded because people were like, how can I catch fish, where, when, why, and just really like, it's cool seeing a lot of new anglers come in and seeing a lot of the people start up Instagram pages, YouTube channels. A lot of things came out of last year that are really cool and really helpful for the industry, and it's awesome. But another like an adverse effect of that is just a lot of people taking pictures and posting them of like certain backgrounds, or really trying to, tell a friend who tells a friend who tells a friend, and then all of a sudden 120 people are at a spot that someone's trying to keep private because they fished there the whole their whole life. I mean, you and I have had many conversations where we've talked about, yeah, just fishing certain spots for like our entire lives. And you more so than me. I mean, you have a huge connection with Montauk.
Yes.
So it's just it's cool to just like to understand what level of, I guess, like secrecy like you have to have in this sport. You know,
I'm sorry, Mike.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say that, when I first started going down to Montauk, now, basically I spent 25 to 30 years in field 6 fishing with bait. And then one day, this is a true story, Mike. And then one day, all of a sudden, I had people coming up to me with the lure thing, and I'm out there and I'm fishing with lures. I'm fishing with, I'm fishing with diamond jigs, even with bucktails that people have given me. I went shopping, but the bucktails I bought might have been like 3 ounce. Yeah, I can fling them out far, but they were dragging on the ground. I was zooming it in. And I'm like, these suck. You don't catch fish with them. Why? Because I didn't use the lures correctly. I didn't use any of it. So I got into YouTube, as you said earlier. A lot of people, with what do we call this? Multimedia?
Social media.
Social media. There you go. So I'm still back in the 70s. But anyway, social media. And a lot of people, like you said that beautifully before, where, because of the pandemic and so on, a lot of people wanted to go fishing. How do you do it? Get on YouTube. So we had a big influx of people come to this industry, which is a good thing. I don't mind it. I love people that serve fish.
No, absolutely.
Definitely. But you were so right on that and so true on that. But other than that, with the lures, I was saying, correct. I'm trying to think of what I was saying.
No, that's
so
good.
What happened was I didn't know how to use them, and I went on YouTube. I went on social media. I met Bill Wetzel through social media. And Bill Wetzel, being a wonderful fisherman that he is, he's a catch and release guy, New York State guy. Guys, you hear me talking about him all the time in my videos. Surf Rats Ball. He's got his own site, his own blogging site there. Beautiful. I'm always on that. But I want to say that the guy taught me everything there is to know about lures. And there is a ton more to learn that I don't know. But he taught me the basics, which started catching me striped bass. And I freaked out and I loved it. And, going to Montauk, even trying those few times, I was going there with bait. I didn't know what I was doing, never caught a fish. Finally, now I'm in Montauk about 12 years, honey. Yeah. 12 years, I consistently go. You might even go and buy there. A lot of people spent a lot of more time in Montauk than me. But Montauk is a beautiful place to fish. Follow the rules. Everything will be great, guys. And I've been catching striped bass, and I never want to stop lure fishing again. That's how much that I love that. But, Michael, I want to continue again on your I love the way he said that with the, with the COVID and that people got into it.
Yeah.
You pretty much, you sum that all up right there. But let me continue that. I'm glad you brought all that up.
How's your fishing been lately?
Yeah,
Mike?
we're going to talk about that right now with the pictures. Good. Yeah, do you want to put up some pictures?
Yeah.
Wait, we'll let you talk first. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, fishing was good. I had an excellent spring. I think everybody had a pretty decent spring. It was a nice run, of fish.
Right.
Really, it was just kind of just checking off the boxes for me. Just kind of like my friends and I will talk, and they'll even if we don't like catch like insane fish, like huge fish.
Right.
Just kind of at the end of the day, if you come up with a plan on your own, you execute the plan. You have an idea where the fish are going to be. You actually find them, and it all works out. It was great, and we were really patterning fish out really well in the spring, and really following them like across the whole island. Like I know you and I'll talk about Montauk a lot, but I'll follow fish all over the island, and it was an awesome run. So it was a good season.
Yeah, it was. I saw your pictures. We're going to see a few of them right now. But before we go to those pictures, I want to say one thing. Jason Palmatier mentioned, I get a greater sense of accomplishment catching big fish on artificial baits as opposed to bait. And I have to tell you, Jason, I fished bait for 30 years of my life, and I got to tell you, you are 100% right. There is nothing like a blow up on a popper from a big stripe on top of that water. Nothing is better. So please go ahead,
Absolutely.
Mike. I'm sorry. Yeah. I had to say that.
I completely agree. I completely agree with that. I mean,
Yeah.
I grew up, my dad took me out on the boat and everything, and I love fishing off the boat.
Right.
I'm a bottom fisherman at heart.
Yes.
But striped bass they just
know.
edge everything else out.
I
They're
know.
just a special fish. The first fish I ever caught, even off the boat, we were dropping clam bellies in the water in a channel, and I caught a striper, and that was like, that blew my mind. Just the whole day I'll never forget. So.
And then
I've been
somebody
hooked on
told
that
you,
ever
hey,
since.
you can catch those on these lures here. And you're like, what? What do you mean? And then you tried it, and then that first hit, man. I mean, it's freaking great. I can't begin to tell you, but go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry. I love striped bass fishing,
No, surf casting was awesome because a friend of mine really showed me the ropes of like, just even from the initial, like, he took me to this spot. He's like, don't tell anybody. This is how it is. That's it. He's like, I'll show you how. I'll show you why. He's like, but you gotta be honest with me that you're just gonna learn and then kind of save it for when you and I fish. And then from there it kind of blew up. He really showed me the ropes. I'm like, he's an awesome dude. His brother's an awesome dude. They're like insane, like Block Island fishermen. They're all fishing, crazy guys. So they showed me the ropes on that like years ago.
Nice.
And just since then I was like, oh, like now I'm in college. So I could take a rod. I could take a rod with me. I could go to college with a rod in my car, and I could go to the beach. And I could go to the beach before I go to college, and then I could go to the beach after college. And then it was just all of college.
It just becomes obsessive.
I promise I got my degree. I didn't fail out of college. But
it takes you over, huh?
Dad, I'm sorry. No, I'm not at college. I'm sorry. I'm on the beach fishing. I'm not going on the boat again. Click.
It's quite a couple text messages. Even before I have the job that I have now, that you know of, at work, just mom and dad getting text messages. Hey, I'll be home later. I'm going to catch the tide. So they're like, all right, don't get killed. It's fine.
Right.
Yeah, without a doubt. I want to put up some of these pictures that you got. Definitely so.
Now, this
Mrs.
one
P.
is.
You tell us the pictures.
Because it's.
You're doing the Jesus Christ thing where you're walking on the water.
Yeah, he looks like your image is pasted on the water.
Pulling up the live stream so I know which one. Yeah, that one. My friend found this like background blur, and you'll see on some of my other ones, the background is just black. And I saw the water, and I was like, all right, like, it'll be pretty funny if I just blur the whole thing out and do the background like water. So I'm like, I won't be lying if I said I caught it in the water.
Right.
So funny.
It
looks
funny.
so funny.
Love it.
And so actually, I had a lot of funny comments on that one. That was pretty good.
So tell me about the fish and what you caught them on that night.
That fish, we were jigging some heavy current, and I love big metal lips. I literally have one second. It's snagged. But I got a GRS here. I love throwing them.
Yeah.
I have a couple CV trollers that I'm really trying to learn and get them down.
Nice.
Because I have some 6 spots that
Hey, what rods are you throwing those out there with?
I have an 11-foot 2 to 6 Lamiglass Super Surf.
Beautiful.
I love that rod.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I wanted to actually ask you about your GSB because yours is a little more moderate action. I wanted to see how you like that.
I love it because with the bigger, that is used with all my big lures. I cannot use. Now I'm going to be honest with the St. Croix rod. Beautiful rod for three-quarter ounce bucktail. I'm telling you, you can fling that thing a mile. But when it comes to the bigger stuff or you're trying to pop something in the water, I'm sorry, St. Croix, but I always tell the truth. It's not really for that. They make other rods for that, but the GSB, my goodness. And I also have a Century that I use for those. Just phenomenal rods. The Century I have is a slingshot. That's the Northeastern 1327. Great rod. I love that. I love that rod. Bill Wetzel also uses that rod. I didn't buy it because Bill Wetzel had it. We just happened to both have that rod, and it's a beautiful rod. But my favorite is, I got to say, the GSP, because I could throw a 3/4 ounce bucktail out with that too if I really want to. But if I want the distance, I'm going to use my St. Croix rod, and that's the one that I use is 3/4 to 4 ounce. That's a 10.6, 10.5 foot rod. It's a moderate action, but a moderate or action for a St. Croix is different than a Lamiglass, as you know. It's like a fast action. But it's great. Those rods are great. They're parabolic. You buy a good rod, you spend some money on it. It's not just going to be the tip that's going to be bending, as you know. It's a beautiful parabolic, and if you catch bluefish and it's just it's bending on the end and it's not parabolic, I guarantee you after 3 or 4 fish, you're going to start feeling it on your back, because when it's parabolic, you just lean back on the whole thing. It's beautiful. Yeah. So that GSP is a good rod, and I'm glad you asked that. And that's a one piece also for me. Yeah, without a doubt.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Jason Palmatier says his 10-foot GSP does everything.
Yeah, everything. It's fantastic rods. I mean,
here's
probably
another
my
shot
favorite.
of
So we got another one. He's got the delay, so he's going to be coming up.
Giant fish. This giant fish.
Yeah, these are giant fish, bro.
Those are spring fish. That you can tell with that gut. It's
definitely
full of bunker.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, we were catching some really fat fish.
Those are nice. Awesome. That's a nice. I know. In the rivers too, same thing. We catch them. Yeah. Either they're pregnant or loaded with bunker. I mean, it was just. Here's another one you're coming up with. Another nice shot.
In the dark.
Yep.
I think you got. I don't know what kind of lure you got on. It looks pink in the front or red.
It's I think that one, that fish I think I caught on a darter.
On a darter, okay.
I think there was one I have. I love the NorCal scaredy cats. Those are sick.
Yeah. I gotta try those. I've heard those. Yeah.
Yeah, those are awesome lures. He's got an insane waiting list. He's OC's an incredible guy. I love talking to him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, did a couple. I did a live stream with him once. I kind of want to do it again. He's an awesome dude. He's a cool plug builder, and he's a big like when I was really getting into the whole social media thing, like following him, just really push conservation and just catch and release, and really focusing on the science about like around these fish, and what we kind of have to do as anglers to take care of them. He just really it's just next level. It's it's something that you see the passion and then you become passionate about it too. So it's just cool. So
yeah, I also want to mention to you, since you said that and you know the gentleman and you speak to him, you got to get him on my live stream. I want to see this guy on my live stream, especially when you say there's a waiting list. That means it's not I don't want to say anything bad, but a bull bleep lure. It's not. So that means it's got to be good stuff when you got a waiting list.
He's an awesome dude. Yeah.
So you got to speak to him. Maybe I can get him on my live stream. We can have a nice talk with him, and he can talk about his product and what he does. But Jason Palmatier also wrote, I find the fast action rod is better for chucking lures. But, like you said, the moderate action, a.k.a. parabolic rod, fights the fish so much more efficiently. And that's a fact, Jason, without a doubt. Anybody knows, anybody who fishes a long time definitely knows about that parabolic bend on a rod, that you can fight a fish more efficiently. You guys better be learning. There's only 2 of you listening, but you better be learning.
Right. Here's Mike on another fish.
There's Mike on another
bit
fish.
sandy there.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, that's the one with the NorCal sticking out of it.
Nice.
Yeah, those scaredy cats are awesome because you could bend the eye on them, but they swim kind of like I forget what he told me they swim like, but it's kind of, I'd say it's a similar kind of red finish action to it. So they have a really nice wobble to them, and then you could bend the eye so they go deeper or more shallow. It's cool. That one he was like, yeah, go have a field day, bend the eye, give it a shot, let it run a little deeper, because I didn't want to mess up the action. Sure. But the way he makes his lures, they kind of you can play with them to an extent, and get it a little deeper. And that one swims just a little tighter and a little deeper. And that plug, there's something special about it, the way it swims. And I do so well on it, especially with the paint job, that purple over silver. It's awesome.
I'm glad that you brought that up. The part about bending it, and you didn't want to mess with the action, because when people make lures, everybody has to understand these are tested in waters and so on. So that way the lure is made, that action you're getting out of it, that's the way they made that lure. So what he said was very smart. Now, you can go get metal lips, and you can mess with that little metal in the front. But what he said is such a fact, because when I messed with mine, it didn't work properly in the water. Everybody was hitting that night except me. I took it off. I stopped messing with it. I put on a regular one, and I started catching them too. So you have to be careful. What he said is so important. With this guy's, you can mess with them a little. They'll still work properly. That's a good lure. I'm glad you brought that up, Mike. Definitely glad you brought that up. Yeah,
it's really cool, especially with metal lips. Like you can't touch that lip. Like it's like voodoo to touch with that lip. Like you could
that's what I did.
Like just the eye here. I know Surfcaster's Journal has a lot of like videos on it, but the eye you could bend a little bit. I wouldn't say on the GRS really.
Okay.
Because that's you're buying it from like a surface. Like this is a surface slim, so you want it to stay up there. But like like a Danny, you could have that swim a little deeper.
Right.
It all depends on what you can do, but you got to test stuff out. It's crazy how much much you focus on just getting things perfect with this sport.
It's so true. I'm like that. You know why? Because I like buying the lures. They look great. Some of them, they look so good. I want to take a little chunk out of them, but they're really pretty lures. And if striped bass can see like we can see through our eyes, it would be perfect. But they don't. They have what's called the. Do you know that name, Mike? What's it called, Romina?
I don't know. Maybe they don't see all the colors we see.
They see chronologic. What's it called? Something like that. Chromo.
No, maybe they only see like a couple of.
They see a couple of colors, like the whites. They see good. The greens. They see good. The reds. They see good.
Yeah, it's really like a shade thing.
Like a shade thing. Correct.
Yeah. I know a lot of people say I know during the day color kind of.
Yes.
I've seen color matter.
Right.
At night too, but I know a cool video that Surfcaster's Journal has. They say look at because you have the ability to take your phone and then take a picture of something or look at things in black and white, and they'll just go for shades. I have a darter here that's orange over white. And
I got that one. I got that one. I
love this one.
I
lost this one.
Yeah.
And I loved it so much.
You got
it. I went on a plug swap page on Facebook and just made a post. I was like, I need to find this darter. So if anybody has it, let me know. Because it's an older run. They don't make that color anymore.
Yeah, right.
It's such a cool, it's a good,
gotta love it.
When it swims, just the way it transitions, it's perfect.
And then again, you know, people have to understand also that it isn't just throwing the lure in and zipping it in, because that's what I did. And it was wrong. I didn't know. You know, I remember when I went out with Bill Wetzel that first time and I threw around an SP minnow. I had tons of SP minnows. I would buy them because I liked the way they looked, but I didn't fish them right, guys. I didn't. And I remember Bill Wetzel says, listen to me, throw it out there, now reel in slow. So I started, he goes, what are you doing? Whoa, 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 whoa. Slow down, a lot slower than that. So I would do it that night. I was so used to spinning this thing all my life that it was so hard to do it that slow. I would think to myself, how is the fish going to go after it? These fish are lethargic fish. They're hanging out sometimes in the water, in the current, and here comes your lure swimming by. They might stab at it, but if it comes zooming by, they're not going for it. They're going to let it go by. They're not going to use their energy to chase fish like that. Anyway, especially in the cold, when the water's still a little cold, you go sometime in, June. You got to be really, really slow on that. And Bill always told me, he says, listen, when you're fishing by yourself and you think you're doing it slow, go even slower. Now I'm used to it. I know you got to go slow. And you got to find that right rhythm of the current that you're in, wind conditions, so you can keep that thing just off the ground. That's once they say that they hit the ground, the striped bass will back off of it. And that's why a lot of people will catch fluke on bucktails, because they might be bouncing them off the bottom. And they like that. Yeah. So Go ahead, Mike. I don't want to keep interrupting you, but I love talking.
Oh no, it's
Yeah.
no, you're not interrupting.
Yeah, yeah.
You're having a good conversation.
All right,
It's good.
awesome.
Hey, Mario Gandini has a question, I think, for Mike. He's saying,
Yeah.
Mike, what's up? What's up with the product you have?
There you go. We forgot to talk about that, Mike.
The
Mike's
which
Tough Leaders.
The leaders, it kind of went on the back burner. Got a new job. I had to really change things up. But I am kind of tying them again. I have a couple right here.
Nice.
With teasers. Really doing a lot of like right now, just because when I can get home, tying up packs of like plain leaders. Like I'll tie up like 2 packs of plain leaders. Just good stuff you could throw in your bag. Just kind of like I know because of a lot of people getting into fishing recently and everything. I know tying leaders is kind of a little bit of a difficulty for some people. I'm not saying for all. I'm not saying it's like a unique skill, you know. But a lot of people kind of like the fact that they could just buy in bulk. Like I'm doing like a 5 every once in a while. I'm trying to be
That's
steady.
me.
With it.
I'm so lazy to make leaders, man.
Even me. I'm like, all right, it should be good. And I'm tying direct at home, and I have a whole shock leader on my rod, and I'm like, I'll be good. And then I break off a plug, and I look at my bag, and I just see the spool and the freaking clip sitting there.
Oh no! Yeah.
Now I got to tie in the dark.
Yeah.
On a rock in the middle of the night.
The last time
on.
you got it. I tied up 8 last time.
Yeah.
Not the last time, a couple of times before. And I figured I had more left, and all of a sudden I broke one, and I'm looking through my bag, and I open up the leader bag, the little leader pouch I have, and I'm like, oh man, I don't have any more, so I got to make them, and it's tough. You're making an 80-pound leader. I'm using channel locks to tie these things so tight, I swear.
Yeah, I know around the rocks, I'll do 80, 100 pounds. I know a friend of mine, he goes through so many of them because he fishes off jetties like north, like Rhode Island. He'll be like, yeah, I use like 120-pound Berkeley green, and I just buy the huge spool. Like that's not what I tie, but he's like I need a leader that I could count on. So it's just tying that. I just put my gloves on, and I'm freaking tightening the knot that way.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm to do everything, don't I, honey? The gloves, everything comes out. It's like a major surgery when you're making leaders with 80-pound braid. I mean, excuse me, 80-pound leader. But anyway, I like to use also the what is it? They have the fluorocarbon, and then they have the other one, which is
just the regular monofilament.
Yeah, just the mono, and I never use mono. Supposedly, stripers can see that the fluoro is clear to them. So I buy the fluoro like everybody else and spend all my money on that freaking fluorocarbon. It's expensive, but hey, you want to fish right, you got to do it like that. Also, I want to mention Edwin Rivera. When I go fishing and I feel a certain lure is going to produce, I can always bring 3 colors with me: a white or yellow, a green, and something black, the 3 shades. Which is true, yeah. I like to do that too. And at night, I'm always fishing with darker lures. And believe me, Chicken Scratch has worked with me on nights. Chicken Scratch, for you guys that don't know, is right here. It's one of the prizes up today. This prize here was donated by, I keep forgetting. Inception. That's a gentleman that makes the, inside your tubes, the dividers, so your lures won't get tangled. And I have all of them. I've recently ordered them, and I got them, and I like them. They don't tangle my lures. But anyway, that's a Chicken Scratch. Going back to that night fishing thing, I use dark lures, basically, even dark bucktails and so on. But is there any other pictures from Mike, honey?
And I think this last one, which is also...
This is the whale. This is the whale. Yeah, this is a good one. This is where you blacked out everything behind you.
Yeah. I just blacked everything out.
Dude, that's a big fish. How big is that fish?
That is humongous.
That fish was almost 25 pounds.
Nice.
It's just long. Like it was long. You could tell it was migrating. Like I feel like if it was like early spring when it was on bunker, I feel like it could have been
Another
even
5
bigger.
pounds, easy.
But I'm not gonna speculate like that. I know
Right,
guys will be
right.
like, "Oh, it's a 30, but it weighed 20 something." But no, it was like almost 25 pounds. It was a nice fish. It
Nice,
was a good
yeah,
fish.
definitely.
But
Wow. Look,
yeah,
he's so happy. Look
Yeah,
at
you're
you.
so happy, Mike. You're very
yeah.
happy.
Holding that.
I was holding that out, looking strong and everything, and then my friend's like, "Yeah, I got the picture." I'm like, "Okay, good." I'm putting it down because I was freaking shaking because
Yeah,
we were fishing like heavy current.
sure.
So by the time you get a fish in with that, it's especially because I like the fast action rod, but it is definitely a workout.
It's a workout.
Um, I that that fish, I just like I fought it probably for I don't know, maybe a minute or so. Nothing insane. Just
Uh-huh.
taking my time getting it in. We fished like certain inlets and stuff. So the current's very heavy. We picked a good time of the day. Ran
Right.
into some nice fish, and just by the time you get that fish up, you're climbing down the jetty. You're grabbing it with the boga. You're up on top. Your
telling
adrenaline's
you.
like flying.
Flying.
I was like, dude, I'm shaking. I don't even know why. This is great. So
That's a good
yeah,
feeling.
every time too. Even the teen fish, you're just like, this is freaking awesome because you're climbing down. You're going. It's a whole
doubt.
adventure.
No doubt about it.
So yeah,
I want to also mention Edwin Rivera says, don't get too caught up on using dark lures at night. How was Montauk 2 weeks ago at night was catching on a bone needlefish or super strike. That's what I used at night. I use at night, believe me. I use my pink, green at nights. If I'm not catching, I'm going through my whole lure bag.
yeah.
I'm
Yellow
constantly
darter everywhere.
changing.
It's
Yeah, daughters are
I-
great at night. It's like a... Go ahead,
Yeah.
Mike.
I wish it was wrong. Like I wish that whole because everybody's like, oh, yellow darter. You got even people that don't even know what they're doing. They're like, yeah, yellow darter. That's great. Because
Yeah.
they read it somewhere. But it's like I almost wish it was wrong. But the yellow, my favorite lure is a neon yellow super strike darter. Like,
Yeah, they're nice.
I just
man.
can't go wrong with it.
Yeah.
It's such a good plug. I don't know. Just
I've been hitting
fish just love
stripers.
it.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, I said the fish just love it. But you were saying,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've been using the Joe Bags. It looks like it's basically an SP minnow. Doesn't
Oh,
have the
Swatters?
plastic, but right. So I like
Yeah.
those, and I've been catching fish on those bigger.
Yeah,
They got
I
the
got
little
one.
ball bearings in there. Get a little bit of distance out.
This one
What you
got
got? Yeah, there you
destroyed
go.
last year.
There you go.
That was
That's it. Oh, you caught quite a few fish with that, man.
probably around like 50 fish on this one.
You
When
don't
the sand
lose
deals
your
came in,
lures.
Look at that.
You don't lose your lures. That looks like my thumb after I catch the 2 dozen fish.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
when the sand deals came in last year,
Yeah.
this thing got ripped apart.
Wow. So
Yeah.
cool, man. That's so cool. Gotta love to see that.
Yeah.
All right. So as we close out slowly, it's 7:53. I usually have an hour show. Mike, you can stay on with us on this. What we're going to do now is we're just going to do 2 giveaways. We're going to do the... I won this at the Bill Wetzel Shindig, and I'm going to be giving them out. They're the North Shore Knicks custom rods and lures. So I got a nice lure here. Looks like a nice bucktail. I'll show you this one. It's got a nice bucktail with some nice feathers. It's not nice with the little red
Nice.
feathers on there. Beautiful. And I got to say this bucktail's about 1.25 ounces, I would say. I'm not sure on this one. Doesn't have the weight on here. Oh, yes, it does. Oh, yes, it does. See, I was right. It's 1.5 ounces, actually. So it's 1.5 ounces. This will probably be better at a jetty or somewhere where there's high current. And then I have, okay, so that one's going to go out with the Inception. This is from Inception. It's donated from Inception. He actually won this and said, no, give it away under my name. So, guys, remember Inception. We'll leave a link on the bottom of that, honey, on his site, on Instagram.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. So we'll give this out first. And how we do our prizes here on the show is I'm going to start out with a number 1 through 125. Don't say the number yet because I haven't even written it down yet. So my wife is going to write down the number. Write down the number 1 through 125. And then you guys can start guessing. And the first person to guess that number will win this prize. That's the chicken scratch. Chicken scratch is about, what is it? Looks like about 5 1/8 inch. Weighs about 7/8 of an ounce, so that's almost an ounce. But these are one of my favorite lures. I just love these lures. Catch me good fish in the evening. I love using this in the evening, even in the morning times. And at night, too, they work. They work. Did you write it down, honey? Is it that long of a number? I mean, come on. All right, guys, you could start guessing 1 through 125. Go ahead, baby. Shoot for that number, guys. 1 through 125. There you go. 1 through 125. Thomas DeLeo, I didn't say hello to you. I didn't say hello to Thomas DeLeo. How you doing, buddy? Stephen Hastings, he's a lucky one, that Stephen. So I sent out those lures this week a little late. I was in Montauk. So when did we send them out? Friday?
Just Saturday.
Saturday we sent them out. So you'll be getting them soon enough. Watch those numbers, honey. Oh, there it is, Jason Palmatier, another winner. 66. There it is, Jason. You win that first prize. It's a beautiful thing, Jason. Jason Palmatier. You win the chicken scratch and the bucktail there. Here you go, honey. All right, so we got one more prize we're going to give out. What do you need? This? There you go, sweetheart. All right, so on the next prize, we're going to do another one of the North Shore Knicks custom lures. This one is a little lighter. This one is actually 3/4. This is something I should have kept, but I'm not giving it away on the show. It's a 3/4 bucktails from North Shore Knicks, and that's custom rods and lures. And also with that, we're going to give away another batch of Zinger baits. Zinger baits make some, guys, I wouldn't use anything else for plastics, but he makes some great lures. So I got some bomber lures here. I got some shads here, some smaller white shads, another shad. Got a nice long eel. Mike, maybe you can help me out on this. What would you call this type of lure right here?
The curly tail.
There you go, current tail. So I got all that stuff going up right now, and I got another plastic in the bag I didn't pull up. You're looking at about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got the 7 pieces of lure here that you're going to be getting, and with the bucktail. And again, my wife's going to write down a number 1 through 125, honey.
No, you pick the number now.
No, you pick the number. It's okay. So there you go. You guys are going to get this prize.
Jason's 3 weeks in a row.
I know. Jason won 3 weeks in a row. It just goes to show you when you have 7 listeners.
Not yet.
No,
not
I'm just
yet.
kidding. You're not yet? Okay.
No, not yet.
Not yet. Don't say any numbers yet. I'll get the when I get the yellow from my wife.
Well,
the yellow.
It's a different color now.
Right. Mike, I really appreciate you being on the show tonight, man. You're a dynamite guest. I will have you on again.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, man, I appreciate it more than you thank you. But trust me. Okay, so let me look at the number. Okay, my wife's got the number. Again, we're going to start out 1 through 125. It's on the blue card this time. Go ahead, guys. You can start guessing. 1 through 125. 1 through 125. Danny C., how you doing, buddy? Good to see you, man. Frank Salomon, what's up, buddy? I like seeing everybody on. This is when you see everybody. Heaven and L Outdoors. I didn't say hello, darling. Heaven and L Outdoors makes some great... Oh, there it is, Stephen Hastings. I don't believe this is happening. He got it. Look.
Oh, my God.
Stephen, you are amazing. Both those guys have won like 3 weeks in a row. People are going to be like, this is a fixed prize. I'm unsubscribing from your channel. Please don't unsubscribe. If anybody new watching the channel and just hanging out, I live stream every Sunday with my wife. We have wonderful guests on, as you can see. You must have got some good information out of Mike. I hope you guys were all sitting there with a paper and pad and writing everything down. I hope you know shorthand. You'll probably become the best striped bass fisherman out there tonight. But I want to thank...
I am no pro like that. I am no pro. I'm a Guggen like the rest of us.
There you go, my friend.
See, Oscar saying...
We all get out there and learn.
Oscar saying what? Fixed. Oscar, I mean it, buddy. She just wrote this, man. It's unbelievable.
Mario says he's been using the Ouija board.
Haha, congratulations to my sexy husband, soon-to-be grandpa.
Oh,
wow, congratulations, guys. That's awesome. Soon-to-be grandpa. She loves saying that part, you know. I know she did. But, yeah, congratulations, Stephen. I'm glad you won. You guys deserve it. Also, I want to say, also tonight, we have always a guest on my show, Always a personal stamp on my show, Jimmy Mo. Jimmy Mo, his infectious smile, kind words, innocence, and his love for fishing. That's in memory of James P. Mahoan, 1947 to 2021. He's always on my show here. He loved this fishing. Ebeth and her husband were very close, or Ebeth was more close to him. She worked with him. Wonderful man, loved this fishing, and we always will remember him on the live stream of Mr. Poseidon. So, Mike, I want to say to you again, thank you again for coming to the show. It was wonderful having you on as a guest. Yes, I appreciate that. To my wife, thank you, darling, for always taking my baloney sometimes. Thank you so much, darling. I love you. Thanks to everybody, and let's start off by saying Mario Gandini, Thomas DeLeo, Oscar Baera, Jason Palmatier, my friend Heaven and Hell Outdoors, Frank Salamone. Who else do we got out there? Thank you guys for showing up to the show. My guest, Mike from Mike's Tough Leaders. We'll leave a link on the bottom. What else, honey? Tell me.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
See you next time.
See you next time. Mike, thanks, buddy. I'll see everybody next time. Thank you so much. Sunday nights. And to all the new listeners and who are listening out there, subscribe to my channel. Got a lot of good content coming up. See you guys soon. Take care.